Hi, morning.
Yeah, morning. Thanks very much, John. Spooky one there. It's 10:35, it's Thursday, and it's this morning.
Can't really argue with that, can you? Morning.
Good morning. Mad monks and mass execution, escape attempts and establishment cover-ups. Just some of the ingredients in the saga of the last Russian royal family.
Well, Prince Romanov, one of the last Tsar's descendants, is here live this morning, and he'll look back 75 years to the day that his forebears were butchered in a cellar. And the conspiracy that he says continues to this day. We've got this too. OK, Yuna's moved on to Bangkok for part 4 of Threads. Today she's looking at Carlton. As you can see, she's certainly travelling in style. That's coming up.
Back on the dock, the successful DJ who's given up his radio show to care for his sick wife. Nikki Campbell and Linda join us at 11:15.
Star Trek has its Trekkies. Doctor Who has its, well, there they are, really, sort of lovable English eccentrics. We materialise at their anniversary time back later.
Anne Robinson has good news for anyone in mourning for a broken teacup. Hybrid china sets are currently all the rage, my dears.
Oh, really? Well, today's fashion shoot comes in any colours you like, so long as they're black and white. Save electricity and hit the monochrome button. That's at 12:05.
And news of a revolutionary new contraceptive device, more reliable than the pill, the condom or the coil, painless, easy peasy and next to no side effects. Full details and demonstration later.
And if you've got any trouble with your back, your neck or anything else to do with bones, then pick up the docking bone and give us a ring, because we've got top osteopath Michael Van Stratton here live to take your calls. 051 555 1000, and here's the lineup.
Well, the real-life story of the last Russian royal family has inspired many books, songs and films, the latest being Assassin of the Tsar, which stars Roddy McDowall and which is released today. It's a dramatic saga and it contains a mystery that is still to be solved.
All the fresh evidence, the forensic evidence, points to a comprehensive and ferocious massacre of the Romanovs, but claims persist that one, maybe even two, of the Tsar's children survived by the skin of their teeth. Prince Romanov, a direct descendant of Tsar Nicholas, is here live, but first, a one-minute time capsule on the terrible events of 75 years ago.
The Russian royal family consisted of the Tsar, Nicholas Romanov, his German wife, the Tsarina Alexandra, and their 5 children, a haemophiliac son, Alexei, one-time heir to the throne, and his sisters, Olga, Tatiana, Marie, and Anastasia.
After the Russian Revolution, the Tsar abdicated and the family was put under house arrest. In the early hours of the 17th of July, 1918, they vanished.
Exactly what happened to them remains one of the most persistent riddles of the 20th century. Officially, they were executed together, but none of the bodies was found. There were several claims of survival by members of the family, the most famous being that of Anna Anderson, who maintained she was Anastasia.
But in July this year, the breakthrough. Home Office forensic scientists said bones found in a Russian grave were those of Tsar Nicholas and the family. DNA samples from the skeletons matched those of Prince Philip, a descendant. However, only 5 of the 9 skeletons could be identified.
There is no skeleton of a little boy. So Tsarevich Alexis, if we stand on the version that this is Romanov family, is missing from those group. Also, one of the princesses is missing.
So this 20th century mystery has yet to be fully resolved.
Well, Prince Romanov, he just charmingly told me, he's called Rusty. He's a descendant of the Tsar. He joins us now, together with historian Michael Ockleshaw, who's an authority on the Romanov story. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Prince Romanov, in your opinion, did anybody really escape?
No.
Nobody at all?
No.
Not the prince, not one of the princesses?
I don't think in the wildest dreams when the Russians set out literally to massacre them that even they could mess that one up.
Because all the evidence which has come in, particularly the forensic evidence which showed what happened to these skeletons, I mean, they were machine gunned, they were bayoneted, they were shot, they were driven over by trucks. I mean, it was a comprehensive Rasputin-like sort of a killing, wasn't it?
Yes. I mean, they set out to butcher them, and they set out to erase any trace of them from the world.
So you think that the woman who claimed that she was Anastasia was a liar?
I don't know whether she knew that she was a liar, but I don't think she was Anastasia.
You say that, quite interestingly, she always refused to meet any remaining members, descendants of the royal family like yourself.
Well, not me particularly, because my father was raised with her, as were his brothers and his sister, and she would never meet them. She would see other people of the court who were much removed.
Talking about, just pick up on that word removed, how do you feel? I mean, well, actually, what is your relationship with the Tsar in terms of the family bloodline?
It's very simple. I'm his great-nephew. My father's mother, my paternal grandmother, was his sister.
So, at this distance in time, and at that distance sort of in bloodlines, how do you look upon what we've just been talking about, a terrible massacre? Do you look upon it as a historical, interesting point, or as a personal tragedy in a way? It's still a family tragedy.
Family tragedy.
Yeah.
And I think, basically, it's better viewed in that way. I don't think... the Tsar and his family were killed, but my God, what Stalin and Lenin and Trotsky and all the communists did. I mean, they massacred people on a scale that this world has never seen. And I don't think we can forget that. The Tsar and Tsarina, who were head of the church, the Tsar was the head of the church, happened to be one of the people that was massacred, but I don't think you can forget everybody else. It runs in millions.
Well, Michael Ockleshaw, you don't agree. I mean, basically, that nobody escaped. You're convinced that how many, do you think?
Two of the children survived.
Well, which ones?
Well, my view is that there's two of the daughters, Tatiana and Anastasia, which is apparently challenged by the findings of the DNA tests, which say that Alexei the Tsarevich...
He was missing.
That's right.
Was missing.
That's right, and one of his sisters.
Well, how do you square those two things then?
Well, there's other evidence apart from the DNA tests. For example, Dr. Abramov of the Russian Ministry of Health, who was party to the exhumation of the bodies and who had a hand in testing of the remains. He insists that it's not the Tsarevich who was missing, but one of his sisters.
What about the fact that in an American hospital at this moment there is a sort of 1-inch section of the so-called Anastasia's colon? She had an operation in America, didn't she, in about '84?
This is Anna Anderson.
This is Anna Anderson, the one who claims that she's Anastasia. That's sitting in a jar. Now, you could do a DNA test on that and solve it at once, couldn't you? Why hasn't that been done?
All you'd solve is whether Anna Anderson was or was not Anastasia.
You wouldn't... I see. You continue to say that she may have got out alive.
Indeed, yes.
Well, then where did she go if it's not Anna Anderson?
Well, this is the $64,000 question.
It's a bogus question, actually, to be honest with you. I mean,
well,
it's pure speculation, isn't it?
And how old... And, did you say the prince? You thought the prince might have escaped? So just two of the sisters?
No, I think it's very unlikely that the Tsarevich would have escaped.
Right.
I mean, he was a 14-year-old haemophiliac, don't forget. Even if the bullets, the bayonets...
If he'd had any injuries at all, he would have found it impossible to survive.
Exactly.
But how old would the two sisters be now if they had survived?
Let's see, Tatiana, 1897, that would be... She'd be 96, and Anastasia would be 92.
Rusty, does it... Good call, Prince Rusty. Rusty, does it offend you, actually? I mean... civilized man sitting next to you there, but does it offend you that people are, metaphorically as it were, picking over the bones of this and spinning out theories which you find fantastic? You know, the idea that people got away.
No, not really. I mean, everybody's entitled to their point of view. I don't happen to agree with Michael, but that's fine. I have my reasons for doing it, but they're basically, family reasons. I can't square the fact that a family that was really quite close, all of a sudden people are saved and then they never see each other.
Disappear,
and they disappear.
Do you have anything left of them? Do you have anything in your possession? Any sort of relics of when they were alive and when they were the ruling family?
I have a few things.
Do you?
I have a triptych that the Tsar gave my father when he was born, which is an icon that has Saint Rostislav flanked by the two saints of his mother and father. But no, not very much.
They took everything, didn't they?
Well, they also, when they fled, there just wasn't that much. And people had to live, don't forget, from
and things like that.
1918.
Well, listen, it's been nice to meet you very much. Thank you very much, I should say.
It's a mystery which
it's
probably
a
never
mystery
be
which,
solved.
absolutely. Well, who knows? Who knows? Thank you both for coming in anyway.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on. If your back is giving you trouble, our resident osteopath might have the answer after this break. So go on, sit up straight and join us in a couple of minutes.